Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. Today we are focusing on all you folks out there, all you anglers who may be thinking about getting into bait making, especially plastic bait making. I have a very special guest today, my friend who happens to be a professional bait maker, Michael Jessup. Michael, thanks so much for having me in your shop.
Hey, thanks for having me on your show. This is great.
So, Michael is very passionate about bait making. It's more than a hobby.
It's a hobby that's gone out of control.
Talk a little bit about yourself and tell them where you're coming from, and when we get done with that, maybe we can start from the beginning. You can talk to everybody about what you need as far as tools, what you need as far as materials, where you can buy them, how much it's going to cost to get involved in this. Maybe we can even pour a couple baits or something so you can show not only how easy it is to do, but how fun it is to get into this bait making process.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with that, tell them a little bit about yourself, and we'll start where you need to start.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice to meet all of you. My name is Michael. I host a channel myself here on YouTube called Baitchuckin. Hopefully Steve will have some links to it down in the description somewhere. But my goal on YouTube is to teach people how to make their own soft plastic baits. There's a variety of ways. We'll cover them today: injection mold, open pores. We'll kind of run through the gambit for you. But really it's all about getting all of you out there to start making your own baits. Like Steve said, it's very fulfilling, and also it kind of gives you an edge because, whenever you're fishing, I know even like the Delta, everyone's basically throwing what Rob's selling out of his shop. I mean, I love Rob, no offense to the shop or anything, but the same people who are buying all store-bought baits, they're all throwing the exact same stuff. So if you want to throw, something the fish have never seen before, or a similar style bait to what you're used to buying, but maybe in your own custom color, well, making it yourself is a surefire way to get an edge over the other guys in the tournament that are just, throwing whatever they picked up off of the store shelves. I think controlling the durometer as well as the color are kind of the two primary, benefits for making your own baits. And durometer basically is another word for saying the pliability of the Plastisol. So from soft to hard. The first reason a lot of people look at soft plastic bait making is the cost. We talked about that because people are tired of paying $8-9 for a pack of Senkos and then getting one or two fish and then they're destroyed. You're going to have an upfront cost, but after you go out and you make your baits and you destroy them, you can bring them back home, cut them up into little pieces and remelt them back down and make more baits out of them. So you can reuse the Plastisol several times before it kind of ultimately goes bad. It's also a lot cheaper in the long run because now you can get that pliability, that super soft worm you're looking for. And if you go through one per fish, it's not really a big issue because you can just go home and make more.
So where do we start?
So I think we'll start by showing you a couple different types of molds that you have available to you. And we'll start with least expensive and kind of work our way up from there because I know cost is a barrier for some folks. So I think the easiest molds to get your hands on are going to be silicone open pore molds. You can find these from various different bait makers all over the internet, Instagram, TikTok, and they're going to run you anywhere from $30, $40 all the way up to like in the $50 range, $20 to $50 depending on the bait maker, how many cavities you're going to get, etc. And these are what are considered open pore molds. Now, open pore is probably the least expensive to get into because the sound of it is exactly what it's describing. It's an open pore, meaning you're going to heat up your Plastisol in one of your Pyrex cups here, and you're simply just going to pour the Plastisol into the mold and then let it cool. And once it dries and hardens, or cools and hardens, then you're going to have a usable bait. So least expensive to get into, and you don't need a lot of tools to get started. Now from there though, you can go into the aluminum open pore molds, and this is where you can get really fancy. You can see here, this is the Epic Boss mold by Epic Bait Molds. This is an aluminum tooled open pore mold. You can see you have really good definition there. This is a very large bait, 7.8 inches, so you can do large size swim baits on your own. You have a nice hook slot there. I think this bait takes all the way up to like a 10-aught or a 12-aught beast hook. So, but you can get real fancy. You can start to do skin pours, you can dust, you can paint, you can airbrush, and you can really make some custom looking baits that you're just not going to find from big box retailers who are, injecting their baits at a massive scale. Next up from there, we get into injection molds, and this is kind of what an injection mold looks like. Now, aluminum is really going to be what you're going to want to look for. I don't have any more inexpensive molds here, but there are stone molds, 3D printed resin molds are also available on the market. Personally, I would recommend not using those. I would say just find yourself, a mold that's more on the inexpensive side that is aluminum, and just go straight to aluminum, because those other type of molds, while they are, the price is very compelling, you're just going to run into all kinds of problems with denting, baits tearing when you try and demold. So I highly recommend, going with an aluminum injection mold. Doesn't really matter the brand. But this is an example. This happens to be a frog mold. And so this is for topwater frogs, but you can see a single injection, and we're going to be injecting 6 different frog baits at one point in time. So you can get large cavity count molds. I mean, I have worm molds that will do 24, 25 worms in one shot. They'll use an entire 8-ounce cup of Plastisol. So you can really, kind of get economies to scale when you start doing injection. Now, to do injection, however, you're going to need a new tool, and that is going to be an actual Plastisol injector. So this is a larger one. This is an 8-ounce injector. I use injectors from the company called Bass Tackle. You can get them in single, you can get them in dual, and you can even get them in a triple color injector, what I have over there on the wall. Meaning you can inject one color, 2 colors, which gives you a top bottom laminate, or you can do a triple injection bait, which gives you 3 different colors in a single bait. So again, you can get really creative. I recommend, if you think you're going to be somewhat serious about injecting baits, get yourself a dual injector, because as soon as you inject one color, you're going to want to go straight for a dual injector, and by then you've already bought one, and now you're spending even more money. The nice thing about a dual system is you can always break these down and get 2 single injectors out of the dual injection system. So this is really more of like a buy once, cry once type of scenario. If you don't want to spend all the money to get new equipment, this is all CNC machined aluminum. It doesn't go bad. So I highly recommend looking around. You could probably buy used equipment and get in even cheaper than if you were to start from scratch. I would say if you want to skip the dual and get in for the absolute lowest price possible, about the lowest you're going to be able to get into the hobby is roughly about $250. Mm-hmm. Now, my good friend Adam over at SDG Custom Lureworks, he has a great video. I'll ask Steve to link it down below. He breaks down 3 different, barriers of entry, whether you have a $250 budget, $500, $1,000 budget. So he has a long, it's like almost an hour-long video that covers all that. But the basic necessities you're going to need is you're going to need a microwave. I'm not sure if it's on camera here or not. But a microwave, preferably one that you're not cooking your food in. So we want a dedicated microwave, okay, to making baits. You're going to have to get yourself some Plastisol. Right here. So this is a gallon of Plastisol here. I use Bait Plastics. I also use Dead On Plastics. Lureworks, the brand who makes a lot of the colors, also makes Plastisol. A gallon of Plastisol is going to run you anywhere from $25 to $35 after you factor in shipping and the type of Plastisol you buy, etc.
How many worms were, say, 6-inch Cinco style worm stick bait? How many worms will that pour?
A lot.
Okay.
More than I can. Yeah. People have done videos on it. I've never done the actual count. But you're going to get roughly 16 cups in a gallon. Each cup is going to make you easily, 25 to 30 Senkos, as you can do the math. If you're going retail cost at $8 a pack for Senko, you can make that cost up real quick when you start to, pour your own purchase. Baits. Yeah.
And you will, you'll give me all the information where you can buy this stuff. Where you can get into a couple other maybe videos of some friends or that you may have that we can link everything. Those will be in the comments or excuse me, in the remarks down under the video. So if you're looking to get any of this stuff, you'll know where to start. And again, Michael is all over Instagram. He does have a YouTube channel. You can get a hold of Michael if you have any individual questions. You'll try to answer the questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I answer all the comments. So drop a comment, or a lot of people will just shoot me a DM on Instagram. I look at those regularly too.
So you want to get into this? You want me to turn the camera off? You get set up, and we'll get into making a bait.
Let's do it. Let's make a couple baits. It's probably a good point to bring up to do know that you know, there is a small element of safety and precaution that does need to be taken when we're making baits here, okay? Although it is relatively expensive and it's extremely fun, and you can do it with your kids or your grandkids. I have a lot of people who have messaged me as grandparents and told me that they've been able to actually, you know, kindle relationships with their grandsons and granddaughters by teaching them how to make a bait and then go fishing. You know, the kids these days, they all want to hide behind the video games and the screens, and this is a great way to get them involved in something fun and actually enjoy fishing, you know. So
and you know what? I'm gonna come clean with you guys. I've been around these baits for a long time, and there's something about, I don't know if I'm watching TV or sitting, something fun about picking these things up and just kind of feeling
squishing
them.
them, yeah.
You know, I'm an old man now, and it's still, you know, it's like a toy to me. So
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's probably something that's got into my skin, and it's kind of like some kind of a drug that makes you want to just play with
no,
them.
it's fun, you know. We get to play with colors and glitter, you know. So what could be more manly than that?
Well,
you know?
we can talk a little bit about that on another video.
But because there are a lot of, you know, younger folks involved, I do want to stress the caution. When we heat the Plastisol up in the microwave, we have to get the Plastisol up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit to get the chemical reaction for it to turn over into what we call Plastisol, because Plastisol, before you heat it up, is basically just plasticizer and PVC plastic together. So you have to keep that in mind. It is 350 degrees, so you know, the moment that touches your skin, we're talking instant second-degree burns. So it's very hot, so you don't want to just be splashing it all over the place. So if you are going to be making these baits with young kids around, please make sure to have them wear gloves, no open-toed shoes, an apron. I wear a leather apron in all my videos so I don't get burned. I mean, I burnt my hand before, and I can tell you it's not a lot of fun. As well as fumes is the second thing. It's low odors. It's not going to do instant damage, but it will do long-term damage to your lungs over time. So make sure you're in a well-ventilated area, or have your garage door open, or kind of keep your microwave near a window with some fans, something to extract the fumes, because you don't want to be huffing hot, you know, PVC fumes all day. That's just not good for
I grew up in
your
the
lungs.
70s, man. You know, come on. What are we going to start with, Michael?
All right, well, you said your favorite thing to throw is a stick bait, and he likes green pumpkin black flakes, so we're going to start it off simple. I mean, hey, it's the most fish catching color, right?
Yeah.
So we have ourselves a 5-inch stick bait mold here. So you can get these from pretty much every bait mold company. It's kind of like your standard. It's what I recommend for a lot of people to get started with. So we're going to shoot some 5-inch classic stick baits. We're going to get the apron on Steve, and we'll see if I can't teach him to inject his first bait.
All right, let's do it.
So Steve wants to make a classic 5-inch stick bait. So we're going to want Plastisol that's going to sink. Now, to do that, there's a couple ways we can do it. We can take normal Plastisol, which is usually neutral buoyancy, or most of the time floats, and we could add salt to it, which can be very time consuming because you have to vacuum all the salt out. It's going to bubble. So to save some time, you can get sinking blend Plastisol, and that's what we're using here today. So this has a sink rate that's actually very similar to what Yamamoto would use. Some people actually even take this and actually add a little more salt to this to make it sink even faster. But this is from Dead On Plastics. This is their worm blend, so it's a very soft thermometer for our stick baits, and it is their sinking blend. So that's what we're going to use today.
This is going to be a bait that is going to sink, so you can throw it on a wacky rig.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's also going to have the same, I guess, action or similar action to a Cinco.
Oh yeah, I would argue better. When you pick this up, you'll see this is going to be a lot softer
All right.
thermometer than a Senko.
I can't wait to see this.
All right, let's do it. All right, so first step is we're going to heat up our Plastisol. So we're going to drop it in the microwave. Now again, everyone's microwave is going to vary, but for us it's going to take, we're going to go like a minute, minute and a half, and then we'll stir it, and then we'll put it back in for another minute. Again, we're going to get it up to 350 degrees. I use a laser thermometer. You can use a probe thermometer if you want to. So we're going to be monitoring it and slowly heating it up to 350 degrees.
to this Plastisol, you're going to heat it up, then you add the color?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
So we have our colorant here picked off of the wall behind us. So I like to use Lureworks Green Pumpkin. Oh, and actually, good thing I checked. I picked up the wrong one.
Okay.
This is more of a brown green pumpkin. We want to use Green Pumpkin 109. That's your standard green pumpkin here by Lureworks. I recommend if you're trying to do color matches to, let's say, production level baits, the parent company that owns Lureworks is called Color Technologies. They actually supply the bulk of color to most of the large scale bait manufacturers out there. So if you're trying to do a color match, Lureworks is a great place to start. And Green Pumpkin 109, as you'll see when we pour it, it's your standard green pumpkin. So great colorant to have right out of the gate, Green Pumpkin 109 by Lureworks. And then for glitter, we're going to be using some black glitter. I got some classic square cut glitter. I tend to like the square cut over the hex cut. But again, Lureworks makes some great high temperature glitter. Another great place to get glitter inexpensive is actually Hobby Lobby, of all places. The Hobby Lobby brand glitter holds up. And now glitter, you can buy one from the standard bait companies here, Lureworks, Dead On Plastics, Barlow's Tackle, all the bait making glitters. But I caution you, if you're trying non-bait making with air quotes glitter, because we are dumping this into 350 degree Plastisol, a lot of glitter will just completely break down. And you also want to be careful because we're using microwaves. What you don't want to use is metal glitter, and then we get sparks and all kinds of stuff in our microwave. So we're looking for PET glitter, and then that's really the best kind because it can withstand the heat. So polyester glitter basically is what PET is. It's just the chemical name for it.
So you got 350 degrees
We are
in there?
good to go here, Steve. I hope you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, now don't burn yourself now, okay?
I'm going to have to do this?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hot.
So when you're adding this, you have your own formulas, but I can just basically...
Yeah, so I think if we're going to do a standard green pumpkin black flake, I would do 40 drops of green.
40 drops?
40 drops, yeah. So if you kind of squeeze it in here, you give it a light little, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 drops. Why don't you, hold the cup with one hand and then stir it in there slowly, because again, you don't want to burn yourself. And then you can kind of see the color start to form.
Right.
Should we pull the camera in a little closer so people can see?
Yeah, if you want me to keep stirring.
No, I'll stir it. Why don't you pull the camera in closer?
You can see with about 10 drops of that, the color it is, and that's a nice green pumpkin.
It's nice, but see, you don't want to be fooled. If you look at it from the side of the cup, it looks like it's solid, but when we pull it up on the knife here, you can see it's actually relatively translucent. Or you can do the ever so popular drizzle test. If we drizzle some here on the mat, you can see it's actually quite translucent. So we're definitely going to have to add more pigment to it. So why don't you come? Let's add another 30 drops to it.
30 drops, and you can fish that bait right off the bat.
Oh yeah.
Oops.
That's all right. Squirt it in there.
You know more than I do, so we're just gonna squirt it.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's give that
That's
a
fine.
try.
Let's give that a shot. All right, so this is looking a lot better now. So we'll go ahead and do another drizzle test next to the other one. And we can see our color's a little bit darker, but I'm not really satisfied with that. I think I want to go a little darker, especially for the Delta.
And you can't go wrong. Both of those colors will catch fish.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And and again, this is the beauty of it. If you're fishing ultra clear water, you're going to want the clear, more translucent baits. So for clear water, you can go translucent. That'll work really good too. But I want ours to be a little bit darker. We're going for a classic, solid green pumpkin black flake. And I think this is really more where we want to be right now. I'll give it the last little bit of drizzle test.
I'm going to come in here and get a little close-up on that because you can see the 3 different colors and you can see how much we've added kind of little by little. You're going to now add some black flake to that.
Yeah, so we're going to add some black flake now. We got some kind of medium and small size black glitter. So this is kind of the larger. So this is a 1/16 of a teaspoon. So I'm actually going to put 2 scoops of the larger flake in there. And we'll go ahead and we'll get that mixed in. All right, and then we're going to take the small glitter, small square cut, and a little bit goes a long way with the small stuff. So we only really need 1 scoop of the small stuff there. And this is going to give us a nice good bit of texture.
Now, if you take that and drizzle some on your mat there, will that show the show up the flake in it?
Yep.
Okay.
So there you go. So if you want to get a close up there now, you can see the difference of kind of where we've come. And when you add the black flake in there, the black flake is actually going to darken it up slightly even more now that we have the black texture behind it.
Okay. What's next?
We're ready to inject.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's simple. We're ready to go. All right, so we have our glitter in. I actually just reheated it up for another 30 seconds off camera to keep the temperature up. Even though, we're going to get the Plastisol to 350 to get that chemical reaction to happen, we really only need to inject around 320, 330. That's kind of the ideal. Now, there are some surface bubbles on the top. Because this is kind of like a beginner, what do I need to get into it? We're just going to go with that. I do have a vacuum chamber. I got lots of videos. You can take a look at my YouTube channel. We can certainly get into vacuuming out all the bubbles, etc. But I think this isn't something someone's going to have right out of the gate. So we're going to go with kind of, if you're just starting out, this is what you're going to be doing. But again, those bubbles are just on the top. So really, they're not going to harm us when we're injecting our bait. So we have our Plastisol ready to go. We have our injector. We want to make sure we put a glove. For me, it's my left hand because this is the hand that I hold my injector with, because the moment, this aluminum's cold to the touch now, but the moment we suck up 350-degree Plastisol, it's going to warm up pretty quick. So you want to make sure you're using a glove of some type. So we're just going to come in here. It's just like a giant plunger. We want to suck up a good amount, make sure we don't get any air. All right, and then we're just going to slowly press down. Nice medium pace, medium amount of pressure. Okay, and you'll feel it'll stop naturally. And it is a cold mold, so we're going to hold pressure a little bit, all right, because we don't want any denting. Plastisol, it's hot, and as it cools, it's going to shrink, and it's going to want to draw in more Plastisol. So when you're injecting on a nice cold aluminum mold, it's good to hold a little bit of pressure. Okay, and then we'll top it off. And then we'll just squirt the rest back into our cup, and that's it. But now, as I mentioned, this mold is going to continue to start to suck down. It's starting to suck down some Plastisol right now. So then we're going to take our Plastisol cup, and again, make sure to top it off, because what we don't want is for it to suck all the way down, and then it pulls air into our stick baits. Then we get baits that just aren't usable at all. All right, and we'll let that sit cool for about 2.5 minutes, and then we'll be ready to demold.
How long has it been?
I mean, maybe 2 minutes, right?
2 minutes.
2.5 minutes. We just basically cleaned up the area. I picked all of our, test droppings up, threw them back in the cup, because we're going to remelt this down, and I'm going to have Steve do the next injection.
And that's the other thing you were saying. When you get all your slag or whatever it is, the test droppings, whatever, you just reheat them. They're not dead. You just reheat them and use them. Okay.
Yeah, so you can use, that's why I have all those left over. Those are different colors I've mixed together, and you just start to reheat it. And then that's, if you're going to reuse the baits that have been in water, that's where the vacuum pot comes into play. So if you're going to, baits have been in water, they're going to collect moisture. Hot plastic and water don't mix well. So once we heat it up, we'll use the vacuum chamber to suck that out. But that's a different video. But right now, I think Steve's ready to demold his green pumpkin.
What do we do?
You just open it up. That's this.
How do we open this thing?
Just like that. You got it. Come on.
God darn. Okay. All right. That's it.
That's it. There you go.
That's it. And do we pull the whole thing out?
Yeah, you can show it to him. Show him what it looks like right there.
That's it. You just pull this out. And the first thing that I'm noticing, Michael, is just the. Can I pull this apart?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Pull one right off there.
Number one, the baits are just perfect green pumpkin color. I like this color, but I'm holding this and look at how pliable that bait is.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is, I was expecting to find, and I'm not bad-mouthing the, the company, a Zoom bait or something that, when you hold it out here, it's kind of holds out straight. This is a super pliable bait.
Oh yeah, and you can get softer than this. So it even goes down to a finesse blend. This is just worm blend. Yeah.
And I can tell you that this isn't going to last a long time.
No, you get 2 or 3 fish out of it, but you know, you make them yourself. It's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, and I don't care. I want to get bit. Color's perfect. I mean, that was easy. And this is 6 baits, 8 baits?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 baits.
8 baits that quick.
And we got another 3 to 4 injections out of just 1 cup of Plastisol. So yeah.
If you're talking about Cincos, we're talking about $7, $8.
Yeah.
$6 to $8
per pack.
Yeah, per pack. Nice.
Yeah.
We gonna pour another one?
Yeah, let's do. Okay. Let's heat them up, and we'll do another one. So
right.
We're switching sides now. I'm going to take over the host position. All right, you ready, Steve?
I think
I got Steve all prepped. He's got an apron, so I promise I won't let him burn himself. So all right, so why don't you go ahead and
stick it in?
Stick it down in there. That's what she said. Suck it up.
You have to do this slow?
Any speed you want. The slower avoids bubbles. That's good right about there.
Okay.
Then you just go over and drop it on. Yep. Stick her straight up and down. Apply some downward pressure a little faster. And then you'll feel it stop naturally. Keep going. Don't be afraid to put some muscle behind it.
That is muscle.
There you go.
It stopped.
Stop. So now hold some pressure now, because we want to. That just helps with the denting. Yeah. That's good. So now you can lift up and then squirt a little more out on top of it there. Top it off, as we say.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
So
easy.
Now what do we do?
We wait for it to cool off. Well, we'll make sure to top it off, because again, it's going to suck down more plastic. So we make sure to top it off.
And I put this down?
Set it down. Yeah, we're good to go. Easy as that.
All right. Yeah. And we got about a minute or so?
Yeah, a minute, 2 minutes or so for it to cool down.
That's pretty darn easy, guys. I'm telling you. You know, it is a little investment to get the stuff, but man, once you have this, I mean, you've got it.
Yeah, you've got it.
You can pour several thousand worms or more once you have the mold.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I try and tell people, because I know a lot of people, they look for like a cost advantage right away, and there's certainly a startup cost. But you know, once you have an aluminum mold, this is going to last you forever. It's going to make the same baits 40 years from now as it's making today. So you can pass these on to your kids, your grandkids, you know, keep them in the family, and they do hold their resale value. So if you decide you just want to get out of it, you don't like the hobby anymore, you can typically resell the aluminum molds at a decent price. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Let's take this time to talk about, for the people that have stayed around here long enough, you're putting together a nice little bait package.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's going to have several of your different baits, different colors, favorite baits, you know, whatever you decide.
Yeah.
And what we can do, how you'll get your name in the drawing, is simply watch the video, hit the like button, and leave a comment. I'll take all those comments. We'll give you a week or so for the guys that, you know, might take a few days to watch the video, and then we'll pull out a random person, and I'll announce the winner on the weekly report that I do.
Yeah, sweet.
And we'll ship that bait package out to them. You guys let us know what you think of these things.
Yeah, so, I'll put together a nice package for the Delta. So we'll put some beaver baits, we'll throw a couple jigging minnows in there, some worms. Yeah. So nice Delta package.
Watch the video, hit the like, and just leave a comment, because that's how we're going to get your name. And make sure if any contact information that we might need. So once I draw the name, I'll be able to get a hold of you and say, hey, you are the lucky winner.
Yeah, there you go.
You think this is ready to go?
It's ready to go.
So
let's take the clamps off here, and just in that short amount of time, it's cooled off and ready to rock.
Okay, we're going to take this. We're going to basically open it up.
I'm going to take your glove off there. It might be easier.
I guess so. Yes. All right. And you know, these things come out, I don't know if you can notice, not a lot of cleanup here, right?
No, not at all. Yeah, no, the Plastisol, once it kind of cools down and hardens up, I mean, you're good to go. So.
And the other thing about this, you know, when you pull them off, there's not a lot of trimming or anything. You're
good to go. Yeah, you pull them off, you're set to go.
Let's grab this thing and tell them a little bit about, I'll start putting these baits out here. Tell them about what you were talking to me about.
Yeah, so, you know, there is a curing time after you make the baits. So a lot of people, like if you're going to go fish these the same day or later that day, you can do what's called a water cure or an ice bath. So you can drop them in water and cool them down real quickly. But ideally, you'd want to either hang them or lay them out in a way so that way they're going to cure for 24 to 48 hours in a straight line, especially if you're doing worms. A lot of people will hang the worms so gravity makes them straight. If you have a swim bait, a lot of people will hang those so the tail cures straight. Because what I was explaining to Steve is if you throw this on a tray and you kind of let it cure when it's all curled up, when you come back 2 or 3 days later, the bait's going to want to return to that curled up shape. So you want to lay them in a straight line so they can cure as in as straight line as possible. So curing is definitely kind of like the final process, if you will. And so yeah, with 2 injections, we got 16 baits. We easily got another 2 more injections out of 1 cup of Plastisol. And so yeah, like we talked in the beginning, you know, you're going to get easily 24, 32 baits out of you know, 1 cup of Plastisol times 16 cups per gallon.
Right.
So, you know, 25, 35 bucks on Plastisol gets you a lot of worms.
It's just a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
Michael, thanks so much
for
doing this. And
yeah.
like I said, give them some of your information if they want to get a hold of you. Again, your Instagram and your YouTube. And it's Baitchuckin, by the way.
Yeah, it's Baitchuckin with an N. So you can find me at Baitchuckin on Instagram, at Baitchuckin here on YouTube. And yeah, I encourage everyone to come on by, hit the subscribe button on my channel. And I do a lot of teaching how to make baits. We do a ton of color matching on my channel. So we got all my videos I set up so we get the recipes in the description. I mean, we're breaking down colors like, you know, Yamamoto's electric shad. I got the recipe for Roboworms Morning Dawn is on the channel. So a lot of real big popular Delta colors and colors submitted by subscribers. We break them down, we give you the recipes. It's all about spreading information and getting more people involved into making their own baits.
All right. Thanks a lot, Michael. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I can't wait to go out and actually try some of these and get them eaten up. And you know what? I don't care if I tear them up.
Yeah, no. And when you bring them back here when you're done, and we can remelt them down and make more.
All right. We'll see you guys. Get out on the river, catch some fish. Be careful out there, and remember to send me some pictures of those fish you catch. Good luck. We'll see you guys on the river.
See ya.